Alpha Charlie Zero, Mike Lima for the Hurricane WatchNet. Are there any stations with emergency, priority, or urgent traffic for the net over?
Hey, y'all, N4H&H here, listening to the
November,
Hurricane WatchNet for Hurricane Helene, which is around 150 miles away from Tallahassee, Florida right now.
Alpha Mike, go ahead, sir.
Good evening, sir. This is November Alpha 4 Alpha Mike, radio operator for Florida Mutual Aid Radio Communications Unit Mark 5. Just confirming HF capabilities. We're about to be in the brunt of the storm and making sure we've got connection before we get hit.
You are 5 and 5, 55 into southwest Missouri, and I'm listening on an SDR in northeastern Georgia. You're about 5 and 7, over.
It's September 26th, 6:48 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mike, Florida Mark 5, I will be clear.
Great, it's November Alpha 4, Alpha Mike. This is Alpha Charlie Zero, Mike Lima for the Hurricane WatchNet. Sorry about those echoes, folks. Sometimes hitting the mute button and turning volume knobs up and down gets away from me there. It's too complicated. Anyways, this time the Hurricane WatchNet is listening for any and all stations in the affected
when I got in here
area
earlier,
of Hurricane Helene that might have weather data, damage reports,
there was
flooding
some
information,
interference from down the band,
traffic for the net, over.
and I'm going to long press shift. But you hear it? So I narrowed. Tell you what, let me put it back up on the big monitor.
Okay, R4JE, AC0ML.
Okay, so I'm narrowing the digital width to 2100. There's still a little bit of it in there, so now I'm going negative with the shift. Because if it's a high-pitched metallic sound, you guys who've been watching my channel for years now, you know, go negative with your shift. But you got to narrow, too. Narrow first.
Are there any stations in the affected area?
And if the interference is 2 kilohertz away, then you're going to want to narrow down to less than 2 kilohertz. Maybe even go all the way to 1.5 kilohertz.
Kilowatt 2, Juliet Bravo X-ray, Alpha Charlie Zero, Mike Lima.
Alpha Charlie Zero, Mike Lima, Kilowatt 2, Juliet Bravo X-ray, go Ken.
Want to take it for a couple of minutes here, John?
Head the net, you're over.
Out.
This is Kilowatt 2, Juliet Bravo X-ray, and this is a continuation of the Hurricane WatchNet. We're monitoring the progress of Hurricane Helene as it bears down on the Big Bend area of Florida. Are there any EOC or storm shelters wishing to test their equipment or traffic with a net, over?
I'm going to zoom the ham clock in. And recenter.
Are there any portable stations with traffic?
Okay, so the hurricane, if you can see my pointer here, let me zoom the camera in.
Any stations with outgoing health and welfare traffic?
So the hurricane is right along in here, where my pointer is. The hurricane is headed toward the Big Bend of Florida, they call it right here, and it's headed straight for Tallahassee. Up here about where the arrow is, a little bit inland.
This is Kilo 2, Juliet Bravo.
And it's Category 4 at the moment.
I'm going to read an excerpt from the latest update from the National Hurricane Center in Miami, Florida.
Okay, here we go, an update.
20 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. A little bit less than a half hour ago. Helene now an extremely dangerous Category 4 hurricane. Hurricane Hunter aircraft currently investigating Helene recently found that the maximum sustained winds have increased to 130 miles per hour, and the minimum central pressure has decreased to 947 millibars, that's 27 decimal, 9 or 6 inches, based on a drought spawned data indicator. Again, the location as of 6:20 p.m. was at located at figures of 280.0 north, 84.5 west. This is about 120 miles west of Tampa, Florida, about 165 miles south of Tallahassee, Florida. And again, the maximum sustained winds are 130 miles per hour.
Of course, using the Yaesu FTdx10. Phenomenal radio. No radios without flaws. Nobody makes a perfect radio, but boy, I like this thing.
Continuing, this is an extremely dangerous hurricane with a very pronounced eye. If you choose to look at some satellite images from the NOAA website, you will definitely see the eye is quite extensive. This storm is packing quite a punch with wind speeds of 130 miles per hour at the center. The tropical force winds extend outwards beyond 300 miles in either direction, so we're looking at over 600 mile stretch path of tropical force winds. These winds will be extremely dangerous and will cause serious damage from downed power lines and trees and such. Anyone that has not rushed to completion should do so now to protect their property and life. Any station in the affected area of the Tallahassee area, Big Bend area, Tampa, Florida area, in that direction on the western coast of Florida with a on-the-ground weather information. We're looking for wind speed, wind direction, rainfall amounts, any damage reports. Any stations in this area, please come help.
There was already some serious damage in Miami as it passed by.
Okay, this is WD4 Echo Romeo Mike in Quitman, Georgia, over.
Whiskey Delta 4, I think it's Romeo Mike, correct if necessary, but good evening, sir.
Good evening, your name is Ken, Kilo Echo November, and the call Whiskey Delta 4 Echo Romeo Mike. We're in Quitman, Georgia, right next door to Valdosta. There's really nothing happening here yet, but from all the forecasts, the worst is yet to come. But so far, right here on the Georgia-Florida border, everything is calm. We've had just intermittent small showers off and on during the day, over.
I understand, Ken. Yeah, definitely the worst is yet to come as this thing gets closer to you. It's going to be extensive rainfall amounts, probably some flooding and wind conditions as well, over.
Okay, where are you located?
My station is located middle of New York State. We have other net control stations scattered out throughout the middle of the country and the East Coast as well, over.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, thanks a lot. Then we'll just stay tuned, okay? And WD4 ERM.
All right, sir, and if you want to check back in later,
you probably picked up on that. Net control in New York. Why? Well, because, and this is where you could help out, the Hurricane WatchNet. They need more people to help. This is a 40-meter band. It's getting dark. The band's going to go long. They'll need people further away from the affected area to be able to receive, signals and send signals into the affected area because, of course, propagation. During the daytime, they'll operate 20 meters and 40 meters. At night, when 20 meters gets, well, I guess I'll say iffy, unpredictable. Not really unpredictable, it's just generally going to shut down at some point at night. And so they'll rely on 40 meters. So you need some net control stations that are further away because of the band stretching out, going long at night. Like, that we know that we can work DX at night on 40 meters because of that.
Whiskey 1, Whiskey X-ray. Good evening, sir. Hey, good evening to you, everybody on frequency. My station down there in Homosassa, Florida, is reporting 40-mile-an-hour breeze, light rain, and No floods, no surge as of yet. Over. Okay, I've got.
You may be noticing up there the S meter is resting on S3. I've got the RF gain control rolled back a little bit. I'm running intercept point optimization and 6 dB of attenuation. Why? Well, let me show you what would happen if I let the receiver run full out.
Affirmative. I've got winds of 40 miles per hour. Is that a gust or sustained? Over. That's a gust. Over. And,
so I degraded my selectivity a little bit, begin to hear that interference. And all that grind.
Hanging around later this evening, maybe we can get more information at another time. Over.
I will be around this evening, and I will be around tomorrow morning.
Now, before you disappear, your first name, sir. Over. Okay, Steve, my name's John. So,
see, it's unnecessary to have all that sensitivity. It's just going to bring in a lot of noise. See, he's got a lower signal now, but I hear him better.
All right, sir. I'll be clear with you. This is the Hurricane.
You know me, I can't help but throw in some learning experience here while I do this.
Control, so all stations, please stand by.
Kilowatt 2, Juliet Bravo X-ray, Alpha Charlie 0, Mike Lima.
Alpha Charlie 0, Mike Lima, K2 JVX, back to you, Ken, over.
Thanks very much, John. Glorious signal, sir. Mike with K2 JVX. This is Alpha Charlie 0, Mike Lima for the Hurricane WatchNet. Are there any stations with emergency priority or official traffic for the net? Whiskey 2, November uniform, Alpha Charlie 0, Mike Lima.
You notice I tightened up a little bit more. 1950 on the digital width. Took shift down a little bit more. I'll go to 160, negative 160.
All righty, Jim. Go ahead and get set up there. Good solid copy on you on both the SDR and on direct on the radio. So no problem there. I'll be back in about 5. Alpha Charlie 0, Mike Lima out.
Okay, fine, Ken. I just put a little power on here. Good afternoon to you. Nice working with you today. And John, nice signal again out of New York, both on here and on the Northeast Georgia SDR. This is W2NNU, Whiskey 2, November uniform. My name is Jim. I'm located in South Mississippi, and I'll be your net control for this next session of the Hurricane WatchNet. I think I've got John, I've got you, Ken, I think Ed, you're still on board. We'll try to catch up here. Anyway, at the moment, let's see here, we're waiting for I think we might, I don't know whether we're going to get an advisory top of this hour or not, but we'll follow up with the one we've already had. Again, at this time, do I have any emergency priority traffic or any reporting stations within the affected area only, please, around the Big Bend area of Florida, Tallahassee area? Come now, please.
Over on this monitor, I'm just looking at some images to see if I find anything interesting. That's an image of the storm from 2 days ago.
This is W2NNU for the Hurricane WatchNet. Do you have any emergency operations centers or storm shelters within the affected area
this
only
is from
that have not
4 hours ago.
checked in or have any updates? Over.
Don't know where that is. 4 hours ago, that might be Miami.
This is W2NNU. Let me read a updated summary as of I've got on the location of Hurricane Helene is 28.
Must be another Hurricane Isaac.
North latitude, 84.4 west longitude, or approximately 110 miles or 175 kilometers west of Tampa, Florida, right? Also approximately 145 miles or
that may be an old
235
photo.
kilometers south of Tallahassee, Florida, with the maximum sustained winds now of 130 miles per hour or 215 kilometers per hour from a Category 4. Our present movement is to the north and northeast at 25 degrees at 23 miles per hour, 37 kilometers per hour.
People tune over
Our minimum central pressure is 945 of millibars per acre. Again, tropical storm conditions are approaching the coastline of Florida's Big Bend.
That's a good photo.
Repeated, do I have any emergency or priority?
From 17 minutes ago.
Or stations with reporting data that have updates or any property damage within the affected area only, please come now. Do I have any relay? Do I have any low power, portable, or mobile stations within the affected area? Come now. This is W2NNU.
My brother,
Hurricane what?
W4KWM, is part of the net.
Do I have any Saturn?
He's helping out tonight as what they call a relay scribe.
Have not previously checked in. The net would like to do so at this time. Over.
So he's helping make sure that the data is getting into a chat that goes directly to the National Hurricane Center in Miami. And then if there's someone that the net control operator is struggling to pull out and he can hear them, he'll do a relay. Consider getting involved.
This is W2NNU for the Hurricane Watch Net.
I put out a video a couple of weeks ago where I interviewed Bobby Graves, who runs the Hurricane Watch Net. I invite you to go look at that video.
Measured weather data is preferred. We certainly will accept estimated measurements. If your weather data measurements or instrumentation, what make, model is the weather station that you're using and the height of the wind instrument. We're looking for wind speed, wind gust, and wind direction. If you have a barometer, what is your barometer pressure? Rising, falling, or steady? And if you know when it's been recently calibrated. Also, rainfall, how much you are getting in a certain amount of time, and the intensity of it. And of course, if you have any observable damage reports, we would be appreciated. We're looking especially for wind speeds exceeding 39 miles per hour, 39 miles per hour per the National Hurricane Center request. This is WNNU.
Okay, there's a bit of a lull there, so I'll go ahead and sign with you. Just thought I'd give you a little, especially if you're in other parts of the country and can't tune in to hear what the Hurricane Watch Net is like. There you have it. And the information they gather, wind speed, rain amounts, things like that, are sent in real time to the National Hurricane Center in Miami.
For the Hurricane Watch Net. Again, my name is Jim. I'm located in South Mississippi, dealing to the Tallahassee area And this is listening to Northeast Georgia SCR station.
So consider joining. You know, in the video I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, Bobby talked all about how to join up. But if you just search Google Hurricane Watch Net, and there's a sign-up list on the left. There's a place you can go to. Let me, I'll pull it up over here before I go.
The recent summary location is the 28.3 north latitude, 84.4 west longitude, for approximately
HWN.org.
west of Tampa, Florida, or 145 miles south of Tallahassee, Florida, with winds of 130.
And you'll see here net control information. I believe that's the one. Yep, they have an application, so before proceeding to the application form, please read very carefully. They want you to be serious about helping.
And then, Ken, if you want to pick up after Ed,
there you go.
Turn it back to me. This is
HWN.org.
Okay, KI4Y TV. I have the net. This is KI4Y TV. Is there any emergency or priority traffic through the net?
Okay, I'll leave you with that image. Thanks for watching videos on my channel. And if you'll hang around for about 40 seconds, I want to acknowledge 5 of the members of the Patreon team who make these videos possible. I don't do commercial revenue, you know. I like to keep everything objective here, so I have no advertisers other than whatever YouTube does. So in order for me to remain objective, I have a Patreon team who financially support the channel. And these 5 are members of what I call, they're the long haulers, because they support the channel a year, 2, 3, and I've got some that are even approaching 4 years of support. The few, the proud, but without their support, there wouldn't be this video or hundreds of others. I know I'm up over 700 now. I think, I don't know how far above 700, but there are a lot of videos covering 60 so far, different playlists, different subjects. Some of them are radio tutorials. So if you get on the YouTube channel and poke around all the playlists, you'll find all sorts of subjects. Thanks a lot, and 73 from N4HNH.